What is up, everybody? I would say good evening, but it is nighttime now. Our first nighttime show. This is Forward Media, and this is What in the Daytona. I got two guests here today, Everett, and then our returning co-host from last year, Chris, is back. Kevin Kevin has some family stuff going on, so we hope everything goes well with him, and he'll be back for our Friday recording. But other than that, 25 year 24 years ago, we lost a legend in Dale Earnhardt. It was my third Daytona 500 I had ever watched. My first one was 98. My second one was 99. I missed to 2000. 2001 was my first full season as a NASCAR fan. Everett, Chris, that feeling 24 years ago when Mike Helton announced the death of Dale Earnhardt, how did that come about for you, and how did it impact your racing fandom?
I grew up a Gordon fan, but I respected Dale.
Same here.
Likewise. It was huge when it happened because my mom was an Earnhardt fan, and my dad had just bought her a whole bunch of Earnhardt stuff for her birthday, which was February 17th. So then Dale passed away, and it just hit hard.
Yeah.
I remember where I was. The accident happened. We had to go pick up a vehicle. We had to pick up my dad's car from this place out in Peculiar, Missouri. And I was sitting in the front room of some dude's house that was doing work out of his house. And the announcement came across, and you just were just shocked. I mean, this was a guy that was, couldn't die. It wasn't true. And like I said, I wasn't much of a Dale fan. My buddy Eric was, but I respected Dale. And the guy, you just never in your wildest dreams could think that he could get killed in a race car. He had been through so many worse wrecks than that. Pocono in '82, he lost his brakes going into turn one, went airborne. Talladega, I think it was '96, suffered second-degree burns on his face, and still came back and ran. You never thought that something like that would happen. To the average fan, it didn't look bad, but to the guys that are in the know, and when you look at the car, then you start to see exactly what happened. And thankfully, everything that we learned that day, the cars are exponentially more safer, and that's Dale's legacy more than anything else. Way more than, the 70-plus wins and the 7 championships. It's every time, like what we saw at Daytona with Ryan Preece, everything that we learned from that point on went into that car that, we see fly through the air and hit the wall, or, these new seats and the Hans device, all the things that have happened in the last 24 years, that's his legacy.
Oh yeah, definitely is. Like 100%. It's like, and I know people bitch and complain and whine about the new car, but they have to realize that they didn't have this new car, Ryan Preece could have been seriously killed 2 years ago. Ryan Newman could have lost his life.
Mm-hmm. For
Things
sure.
like that if it wasn't for the safety features in the cars.
I mean, if you go back and look at the wreck that Ryan Preece just had this past weekend, if this would have been 24, 25 years ago, we would have been talking about another driver's death, not he climbed out of the car and walked away.
Exactly.
There is some concerns with that new car. It's not the fact that he got airborne; it's the fashion that he got airborne. It was very IndyCar-esque. You guys may not remember, but there was an issue with the earlier Delara Indy cars where they'd run over a piece of debris on the racetrack, it would get underneath the car and lift the car up off the ground. The car would either pinwheel or it would just flat out just catch flight, and it just when it comes to Priest, it's not like a typical blowover where the car gets turned around backwards and you invert the spoiler and it lifts.
Right.
This is one of those moments where air got underneath the car and just picked it up like a piece of plywood. And
exactly. And none of the safety features were able to work.
Yeah, and I think that thank God that they redesigned the rear portion of that car from the first incarnation of the next gen, because guys were getting concussed backing into the wall. I mean, Kurt Busch never came back from his.
No, he never did.
And it's like, the rear half of that car is so rigid.
Mm-hmm.
And I had concerns about it when I saw the initial design, because it just didn't look like there was much flex. And come find out there was issues. But thankfully, by the grace of God, he didn't get up in the catch fence and he didn't end up, in the grandstand. It's the what ifs in my mind that scare the hell out of me, because of how it got airborne, not why it got airborne.
Yeah, I mean, with how I don't understand how it necessarily happened. I mean, other than you had the two cars come together, and it was just like they acted as a ramp.
Yeah, a little bit of air got underneath the car, but then it became a lot in a hurry. And I think a lot of that is because of that belly pan.
Yeah, which looks like the bottom of a Matchbox car. But other than that, we will get back to that when we go back to talk about the Daytona 500. Things kicked off Wednesday night with qualifying. Chase Briscoe had one fast car. Austin Cindric had a fast car. That was your front row. Thursday night, we had a controversial finish in the second duel. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on that controversial finish. Race 2 between Eric Jones and Austin Cindric.
I think the only thing you could possibly do is just let him run, or have scoring loops all over the racetrack that are clearly marked. NASCAR doesn't have that. The only other thing you could possibly do is just go back to the previous lap, which is the old USAC rule. Just went back to the previous lap, and that's who your winner is.
And I agree with that. I mean, and with where they were at and how that happened, they literally should have just let it go green until they got to the start-finish line, because with them throwing the caution just before the start-finish line, that you had the 43 team thinking that they had crossed the line and won that race, just to have it taken away from them. And it's just... There's a lot of inconsistencies when it comes to when they call the caution, when they don't call a caution, and it's usually for the same style of wreck each time. And there's a lot of confidence on that.
But in my honest opinion, it's just a qualifying race. It is what it is. And if I understand if it was like a major race, then yeah, I'd make a big deal out of it. But speaking of big races, Friday night was the kickoff of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. We had a winner, and then we had a new winner. Corey Heim was credited the win after Parker Klingerman won the initial race, but then his car was found to be 1/16 too low. Chris and Everett, you're both race car drivers. How big of a difference is that when it comes to post race inspection?
I mean, 1/16 of an inch really isn't much when you come to think about it. But then that's also probably within NASCAR. They've already surpassed NASCAR's tolerance of what the car can be height wise.
Mhm.
So you got to look at it with the fact that you've got the tolerance that they give you, and then they went over that.
Mhm.
Now, what caused it? It's hard to say. I mean, there was some aggressive bumping out there. Did that cause it? Maybe. Did the teams try to play a fast one? Maybe. I mean, it, and Chris will probably be better to answer this one on also. I mean, what do you think, Chris?
Maybe.
Maybe.
In the wind tunnel, a 16th is huge. And if there is, some wiggle room in that height rule, um, I know at least in the Arca garage, they still measure height kind of the old school way with the plumb that they drop down on top of the car. And there's a green area. And if you're outside of that green area, if you're too low, you're too low. Simple as that. But the green area is very, very large. Um, so again, I can't speak to what they use in the truck series, but with the ARCA series, they still use kind of the old school templates. I don't know if they laser scan the bodies in the truck series. Again, I don't spend a lot of time over there. But but yeah, 16th is huge. I hate it for him because he got kind of hosed out of a win in the Xfinity series too, on kind of another questionable caution flag call at the.
Mhm. But here are your results from the fresh from Florida 250. Corey Heim is credited with the win. Giovanni Ruggiero, awesome, awesome run. He was credited the first ever four wide media driver of the race. Each race weekend between IndyCar and NASCAR, well, just NASCAR only, we're going to name a driver of the race award to each driver who performed their best. Gio performed his best on Friday night. Ty Majeski finished third, Grant Enfinger fourth, Justin Haley fifth. Kyle Busch will be in that number 7 truck coming up here soon. He was announced that he will be in the number 7 and the '07, racing at tracks North Wilkesboro, Nashville Super Speedway, Watkins Glen in the number '07. And then the other two races I do believe is Las Vegas and I can't remember. But he will be in 5 races for Spire Motorsports this year, 2 in the number 7 and 3 in the '07. We got Chandler Smith in 6th, who had a chance to make his way in on Thursday in the duels, however, ended up crashing out. Daniel Hemrick was 7th, Jason White was 8th, William Solowich, who did triple duty over the weekend. He also raced the ARCA Menard Series and, of course, the Xfinity Series, in which he drives for Joe Gibbs Racing full-time in the number 19. NASCAR driver, actor turned NASCAR driver. Chris and myself have met this guy. Frankie Muniz got his first career top 10 in his first full season in the truck series. Timmy Hill 11th. It was also announced today that Timmy Hill will be running all 8 ARCA Menard Series East Series races. Let me see what happened here. Bear with me. Trying to get Chris back on. All right. Jake Garcia finished 12th. Lane Riggs 13th. Andres Perez did it again. Perez Deloria, Mason Maggio, Norm Benning. Norm Benning had a 16th place finish. He was kind of disappointed with his finish. He feels like he could have finished higher, but hey, 16th at Daytona when you're an underfunded team is not a bad finish. Johnny Sauter
He
returned
did
to
pretty
the.
good.
Yes, he did.
For a no buck operation, I don't think he's got any major sponsors, and he's 73 years old. Shout out to Norm Benning.
Well, I mean, the fact that he went and out qualified some bigger teams out there too.
Oh yeah. Then you got Johnny Sutter returning to the series, finishing 17th. Josh Romaine, the owner of Frankie Muniz's truck, finishes 18th. Spencer Boyd 19th. Ben Rhodes finished 20th. Started out hot and then ran into some issues later on into the race. He was also your pole sitter for the race. Bailey Curry 21st. Tanner Gray 22nd. Stuart Friesen 23rd. Jack Wood 24th. Dawson Sutton 25th. 2019 or 2020 Daytona 500 Michael McDowell was in 26th. Matt Crafton 27th. Matt Crafton was looking strong until unfortunately he had some issues late in the race. Tony Bredinger, she got caught up in some trouble. And then finishing 28th. She had a potential top 10 finishing truck, but got caught up in some late racing accidents. Matt Mills 29th, Rajah Karoof 30th, Nathan Bird 31st, Connor Mosback 32nd, Clay Greenfield 33rd, Tim Akram, Caden Honeycutt is 34th and 35th, and in 36th position was race winner Parker Klingerman. Again, we have mentioned it earlier. The penalty. The team does plan to appeal later this week on his win. In my honest opinion, I feel like they would win the appeal because if you're just a few inches low, I feel that should credit you the win of the winner of the race.
It was also announced via Bob Pockris that they'll be appealing it. The appeal will be heard on Thursday.
On Thursday? Okay.
And then the other race that Kyle Busch is Atlanta, Charlotte, Nashville, North Wilkesboro, and Washington. He'll be racing this week.
Okay, I knew I was somewhere. I just couldn't. I knew it was the other one, but I couldn't remember which one it was. We had. This is gonna be fun. We had the Arca 200. More like the Amber Belkin wrecking show.
Yes.
I'll take a drink to that one of my ice cold Dr. Pepper.
Here we go.
This is all you, buddy.
Butterbean Queen. Oh man, I tell you. Oh man, I tell you what, the group chat was going buck wild on Saturday. Oh my goodness. We're winning.
There's a video that I use a lot when they give her a start. Every single race that she ran, just about for Venerini last year, she was in an incident. So I would put up the video of that part in Scarface with the money counter. Every single time she gets a start, the folks at 5-star know they're going to get paid.
Damn. I mean, what? The racing team go 5 laps before the first crash happened?
Yeah, they got started early and they just kept wrecking. I mean, I think about 3/4 of the field got taken out in wrecks.
I want to say by the lap 20, they were already out 20 cars. So, I mean.
Yeah. Out of the 40 cars that started.
Yeah.
Sanity. Anyway, here we go with our results. Butter freaking Bean wins the ARCA 200. This is his full-time season in ARCA, so that's a great win for Brendan Queen. William Solowich, again, who I mentioned was doing triple duty, finished second. Jason Kiltzmiller, third. LeVar Scott, a good friend of mine, finishes fourth. The 4-time Indy 500 champ, Helio Castroneves, finishes fifth before being cross-checked by AJ Moyer, who finished seventh at the end of the race. Sixth was Cole Raz. Andy J, who had a famous quote last year, "I'm not lifting unless I see God or a checkered flag," finished eighth. Ryan Roulette, ninth.
Checkered flag.
Yes, he did see the checkered flag. Tore up, but he saw it. 10th
Yeah,
place was
that thing was
Bryce.
beat up.
Oh yeah, it was. But hey, at least he finished. 10th place went to Bryce Honberg. 57th, Hunter Deshante. Jason White 12th. Ed Pumpa 13th. Jeff Scottford, who was strangely enough racing for Brad Smith, finished 14th. It was weird not seeing Brad Smith in a starting lineup for ARCA. 15th, Jake Fifth. Our boy from Club Racing Inc., Alex Club, finished 16th. He's also running for mayor of Morris County. Tim Richmond, 17th. Lawless, that is one of the stupidest names in racing. Lawless Allen finished 18th. Tim Vines, 19th. Brian Dawsett, 20th. Isabella Robusto, 21st. Corey Dace, 22nd. Scott Melton, 23rd. My good friend Brayton Lester finished 24th. He was so excited to race Daytona, and unfortunately, some issues knocked him out
Yeah,
of the race.
yeah, it's like a broken drive plate in the rear of that car
Yeah,
took him out.
yeah. I had talked to him. I talked to him. I talked to him Sunday, and he said, yeah, he was pretty beat, but hey, he lived to tell another day. Takuma Kaga,
Yeah.
25th. Becca Monopoly, driving the number 86 for Club Racing, finished 26th, got caught up in the Amber Belkin crash. Actually, she slammed right into him. 27th, there's Greg Bracken. I don't know any update information on Craig. I know he was transported to a local hospital in Daytona, but I haven't heard any updates since the crash.
He was
I've
checking
heard that
release.
they sent him home. I think they
Okay.
said he is okay, but definitely a scary moment there. Big time hit there in turn two in that second incident.
Mhm.
Um, guess he had a stuck throttle or something. And he ended up hitting the inside wall, not just once but twice. So big time scary moment there in that one.
Yeah. Nolan Wilson, 28th. Here we go. The driver of the race, the wrecker, number 70, Amber Balkin. Everything, anytime you turned around, you see, oh, look, there she is. You know who she reminds me of? Somebody by the name of Danica Patrick.
Nah,
Put
I wouldn't compare
some
that one.
respect on Danica's name. At least she won an IndyCar race. Come on now.
That is a fact. I remember staying up late to watch that race. That is a fact. Then we got in 30th position, Cletus McFarland. Garrett Mitchell, 30. I tell you, that man had some hilarious post race interviews. I swear, man.
I
Dude
really
is
want to
hilarious.
hear Cleat with Elio Castroneves. Put those two together in a room.
Absolutely. Well, here I have it. See, Kevin and I were talking. He gave me Cletus's information. I'm going to reach out to him to get him on this show. I got to hear what kind of stories he has. Woo,
Oh
man.
boy.
Oh yeah. Oh, I just lost my train of thought. 31st, Michael Maples. 32nd, Kyle Steckley. 33rd, Dan Quarterly. Cody Dennison. I felt so bad for him. He was having such a good run. 34th, Willie Mullins. 35th, Sean Core. 36th. He was a little bit beaten up after the race, but he is good to go. Thad Moffitt. 37th, Caleb Costner. 38th. The IndyCar driver, Catherine Legg. 39th. Didn't even get a chance to race the full race. And then Eric Caudell, 40th. Overall, a crash-filled Ride the Dente 200 at Daytona.
I was Mark safe from the Ride the Dente 200.
So was I. As was I. All right. Then we have the United Rentals 200. What a race! What a race. Your overall results. Jesse Love takes the victory. Sam Mayer second. Sheldon Creed third. Carson Quavel fourth. Taylor Gray fifth. Harrison Burton sixth. Jordan Anderson seventh. Dean Thompson eighth. Jeremy Clements ninth. Patrick Emerlin 10th. Matt DiBendetto 11th. Christian Eckes, who graduated from the track series and now is part of the Xfinity series, finishes 12th. Cesar Barcarella, 13th.
Baccarella.
Baccarella. Thank you. Josh Bilicki, who got Chris Whited in the middle of the race.
1-800 stop right.
Hey, that was all the spotter's fault. The spotter forgot to hit the brake.
Okay, we'll put it that way. Oh my
Hey,
gosh.
us racers are never wrong, right, Chris?
Joey Gates 15th, Jeb Burton 16th, Ryan Truex 17th, Justin Allgaier 18th, Ryan Sieg 19th, Josh William 20th, Leland Honeyman 21st, Anthony Alfredo 22nd, Ryan Ellis 23rd, Sammy Smith 24th, the new guy from the modified series, Bonzignor 25th,
Yeah.
25th, and then involved in crashes. Here's the rest of your field. Greg Van Alst, the 2022 23 day 23 ARCA 200 winner.
Yeah.
Connor Zelich, 27th. William Solowich, 28th. Patrick Retzlaff, 29th. Again, those they were involved in accidents. Brendan Poole was 30th. Gantley Smith, Chris Wright, everybody's favorite driver, finished 32nd. Austin Hill, 33rd. Blaine Perkins, 34th. Nicholas Sanchez, Kyle Sigg, Brandon Jones, who just cannot drive a damn race car to save his life, finishes 37th. And Daniel Dye finished 38th.
And Brendan Jones' defense there, he had nowhere to go in that wreck at Daytona.
He really didn't. He really didn't.
And then I say, how about this? We make it 10-lap race for Chris Wright and Amber Belkin. These who wreck two first.
Oh my God.
Well, I don't think we won't be able to have any fans in the stands because, I mean, there ain't going to be no cars left, and one of them's going to end up in the damn stands. You got to be able to drive.
That is true. And voted for that race, and the 4Wide Media driver of the race goes to Jesse Love for his outstanding performance in Saturday's race.
Rightfully so. I mean, Jesse did a good job saving the car, keeping out of trouble, and he was there when he needed to be there.
Yeah. And if I remember right, Chris, when I worked with you and the team at Mid Ohio, Jesse Love won that race, didn't he?
If I remember correctly, he won about every single race that particular year. It was the Jesse Love show. I mean, the dude's on his way to the Cup Series. I mean, he's winning races in Xfinity. He's getting the hang of this, super speedway racing thing, and he's well on his way to being the next big name for RCR in the Cup Series.
Right. And the crazy thing about that race, Austin Hill won the first two stages, and then problems occurred. He could have made history and became the first driver to win 4 in a row at Daytona, but unfortunately, he had some mechanical issues that caused him to not be able to finish the race. But I got to give credit where credit is due. Austin Hill was racing his ass off.
Yeah. He was probably he in the Xfinity race and Tim Richmond in the ARCA race. They really kind of my picks for hard luck. The old Goodies Headache Award. Because they both had cars that could have won. I had Tim picked to win that 200. I said the boy is due. He's lost that race every way you possibly can. Got tangled up with a lap car one year, ran out of gas the year before that. And then this year just washed up the racetrack and spun out and blew out the tire and broke a sway bar. The dude's going to win one of these days. And Austin Hill, dude, he's going to be a favorite to win the Xfinity Championship. It's going to be him and probably Jesse Love.
Oh yeah. RCR
I think
battle.
Justin Allgaier will be back up there.
But yeah, I tell you what though, when Justin Allgaier won last year, I was like, it's about time. It's about freaking
Mhm.
time. Because
Yeah,
he
the
is, I tell you
boys
what, Justin
do.
Allgaier is one hell of a racer.
The other
And
thing is
then,
you can't count Connor Zilic out.
no, you can't. I mean, if it wasn't for that crash, he probably could have had a good finish. That probably could have been up in the top, and up in the top to possibly fighting for the win at the end of the race. Connor Zelich, that's my Xfinity driver for 2025, and on the Truck Series side, Tony Bredinger. Of course, Chris knows that. That's always been my girl right there.
Yeah, she's definitely got all the tools to make it. I mean, she's got good funding and a good team and Tricon. It's just gonna need some luck. She's gonna do well. It's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
be a little bit of a learning curve, but
I mean,
again, these ARCA
unlike
kids, they
her,
can move up to the Truck Series and run good.
yeah. See, unlike her, she did more other series too, other than Haley Deegan. Haley Deegan just focused on the NASCAR side. Tony's out here running late models. She's out here running dirt cars. She's out here running go karts. Anything to do with, she's out there running it, and she's one hell of a driver. So I got to give her props. For
I didn't think much of her when she first came on the scene, but she's grown on me because
Mhm.
she wants to learn, and the only way you can learn is seat time, seat time, seat time. You
And
gotta
she
want it,
earned that.
and
Yeah,
she
and she
wants it.
earned that seat. She earned that seat in that number 5 for Tricon.
Well, they don't just put anybody in those trucks. I mean,
They
that's
really
big
don't.
time money behind those guys. That's TRD money, and it's make it or break it.
Yes,
And
Yep.
you only
it is.
get a handful of races to make an impact, and if you don't, it's see you later.
Yep, and David Gilliland picked his drivers who he thought would be good for his teams.
I'm not going to say David was one that picked it. I'm going to say Toyota was the one that probably dictated who ended up in those trucks for him.
That is true. That is very true. All right, the main event Sunday, Daytona 500. It started out with the 47th president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump, kicking things off. I will keep my comments to myself. This is a family show. I will keep my comments to myself. Anyway, I think it was pretty cool to see him there. It's pretty cool to see the president, learning the sport, being a fan of it, kicking things off. Race gets started, boom, rain hits. And you knew it was going to be a long day. So regardless of moving up the start time or not, they still did not get the beginning of the race in like they wanted to.
I was about to say it was kind of a replay of 2020 again.
I would agree. However, this time it didn't finish on a Monday, and we didn't have a driver upside down crash, and everybody's wondering if he's dead or alive.
Yeah, thank God for that.
Yeah, I remember going to bed that night. I'm thinking, damn, is Ryan Newman okay? Is Ryan Newman okay? I do not want to have just witnessed another driver's death. And thank God he was alive. As a matter of fact, he walked out
I
2 days later.
By the grace of God, he made it out. I still can't believe he made it through that, getting hit right in the head. I just don't know. I don't know how he made it, but by the grace of God, he made it.
Like he said, it was his own creation.
Someone was watching out for him, that's for sure.
Absolutely. All right. Here are your results. William Byron, right place, right time. Everybody, Hamlin and Cindric are battling for the win. Coming out of the corner, they both crash. Byron and Reddick are coming through. Byron goes back to back in the iconic number 24. As a longtime Jeff Gordon fan, seeing the iconic red and blue Flames car in victory lane at Daytona, superb and gorgeous.
It's
Seeing
just
the
like
flames
old
back in
times,
that car is
dude.
awesome.
That car was beautiful. And then just last night, William Byron was on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
As
I
a
saw that.
designer also, I'll give a shout out to Noah Sweet, who was the painter of that car.
because that paint scheme was beautiful. Let's see. William Byron takes the win. Takes the win. What is going on here? Where am I at? Whatever. Takes the win. Tyler Reddick second. 7-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Jimmy Johnson gets a third place finish for the first time since his final season, full-time season in NASCAR Cup Series before he went IndyCar. Third place in a Toyota in his own car. It took me a while to get used to
That was
seeing
good.
Johnson in a Toyota, but that is a hell of
Mhm.
a finish for Jimmy Johnson. He had a plan, and I watched his plan. He stayed in the back the entire time, avoided all the chaos, managed to work his way up to third. Could you imagine if Jimmy Johnson had won that race instead of William Byron?
I was wishing Jimmy won it. I mean, he, he deserves one more triumph. That's for sure.
He does.
He's a great driver. He didn't get to where he's at by not being that good of a driver.
Correct. I mean, he started out, crashing all the time to move on to going on to winning 4 in a row, and then
hmm
winning a fifth and sixth, and then a seventh championship. And I feel like this. I feel like Johnson feels like he has one more full season left in him, and he wins an eighth championship and calls it a day.
I see him skirting with another full season. Just, I think it's just going to boil down to money at the end of the day. I'm wondering what they can get together for a third program over there because they've got a pretty decent thing going on right now.
Yeah, they do. Trace Briscoe, your pole sitter, finished fourth. John Hunter Nemechek fifth. So you had two of the legacy cars finishing in the top 10. Not a bad day for Jimmy Johnson and crew. Alex
Yeah.
Bowman sixth. Ryan Blaney seventh. Austin Cindric eighth. I swear to God, I am tired, sick and tired. Austin Cindric being so goddamn close to the second Daytona 500 and fucking crashing out at the end. That's the second year in the damn run. It pisses me off as a Cindric fan, but I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
Maybe he
Junior
just needs to learn how to drive.
Motorsports. You said what?
Maybe he needs to learn how to drive better.
I mean, really, when the fault, you seen him trying to block Denny and shit went crazy after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, these
It's Daytona.
these super speedway races, you got to be lucky, especially
yeah.
with
That's
the,
for
with the
sure.
next year.
And here's something you've never heard you've never heard before. Junior Motorsports Cup Series. Justin Allgaier, ninth place for Junior Motorsports. What a fantastic debut for Junior Motorsports in the Cup Series.
They put together a decent program over there. Considering how quick it all came together and qualified for the 500, finished ninth in the race. I mean, Junior has nothing but Junior should be proud, really. I mean, that was a great run. Thank you to Chris Stapleton for joining them to make it happen.
And according to Junior, Chris Stapleton stayed on top of that pit box the entire race. I won't be
Maybe
surprised
they
if
can
Junior
get him to be a
Motorsports.
co-owner like Pitbull was with Trackhouse till this last weekend.
Right. Rumor has it that there was a conflict between him and Justin Marks, and that's why Pitbull stepped away.
I've heard multiple things.
But it all comes down to money.
Something about Suarez is what I've been hearing.
That's what
I've heard that. I also heard that he got his return on investment back, so he was good.
yeah. Let's see. Chris Buescher 10th, Michael McDowell 11th, Eric Jones 12th. It's good to see the 43 being a successful number again. It's really good to see that. Such an iconic number.
I think Eric Jones is the right driver for it.
Absolutely.
He's in now a couple years. They're starting to build a program around him.
They are.
Legacy Motor Club as a whole had a great weekend.
They really did
They did.
I mean, they needed it.
badly. Daniel Suarez 13th, Ty Dillon 14th, Chase Elliott 15th, Ty Gibbs 16th, Riley Herbst, who was in position to win the Daytona 500 before a crash. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who just loves wrecking people. Sorry, Kyle Busch. I know you wanted to win so bad. Justin Haley 19th, Kyle Larson 20th, Cole Custer 21st, Corey LaJoy. Holy shit, where did Corey LaJoy come from? He was in contention to win it. Could you imagine if he upset the entire field and won the Daytona 500 on Sunday? He was so damn close. I was pulling for him.
That car had some speed to it.
Hell yeah, it did. The Fords in general this weekend were just those Fords in general were just like on fire this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the truck series, and then not much of Xfinity, but Cup and the truck. Those Fords were on top. Then you had Austin Dillon
Race
23rd.
weekend, they were in the wrong spot.
Yeah. Denny Hamlin 24th, Cody Rare 25th, Brad Keselowski 26th, Todd Gilliland 37th, Noah Gragson 28th, Bubba Wallace 29th, Carson Hostetter 30th. The funniest thing is during that rain delay, Carson Hostetter was on iRacing.
I had a buddy that was actually racing them.
That's cool. Christopher Bell 31st. Upside down Ryan Preece. Once again, Daytona. Is Ryan Preece's worst enemy.
I'm starting to wonder if it's a guy's named Ryan at Daytona. You got Ryan Newman
right?
and Ryan Preece.
I think Ryan Preece took over the Rocket Man name this weekend.
Right? But hey, at least he lived to see another day.
Right.
Then you got the rookie, Shane Van Gisbergen, 33rd. It is cool to see the 88 back in NASCAR Cup Series competition. Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch was so close. So close to potentially winning it in his 20th champ. Wrong place, right place, just wrong time. Joey Logano, who everybody was starting to get pissed off at over the weekend, 35th. Zane Smith, 36th. Josh Berry, 37th. And I feel so bad for Martin Truex Jr. That was possibly his final Daytona 500. Finishes 38th. Elio Castroneves, I got to give him credit. He stepped into stock car for the first time ever. He did great on Saturday in the ARCA race, but the Cup car, just the wrong place, the wrong time. Ross Chastain and AJ Allmendinger, who had engine problems, finished 41st. Thoughts on the Daytona 500?
Going back to Elio, my thing is everyone says that this was his first time in the stock car. Look at how many years he ran in IROC series. He's got Daytona experience.
That is true. That's
racing Earnhardt.
That's true. And he also has Daytona experience from being in the Rolex 24.
Yep.
Yeah. But you can ask any driver.
SRX.
The old IROC cars and the next gen are like apples and bowling balls.
Yep. But
but at the same time, it's an standard car.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. And our 4-wide media driver of the race came down to the final vote. 7-time champ Jimmy Johnson was voted driver of the race because look how he started in the back on one of those in the middle of the race, winds up, works his way through the field, and avoids all the chaos to finish third. It would have went to Corey LaJoy, but with a third place finish from Jimmy Johnson was voted 4-wide media driver of the race for the Daytona 500.
Deserving.
Yeah.
Very deserving of that.
Absolutely. So I don't know if you guys heard Kyle Busch's comments, but he's blaming NASCAR's 3 lap rule as to why he was parked at the race. They were under caution, so how was he able to get up to speed if he was if it was under caution after that crash that he suffered and went to the garage for for the now no for the, now the new DVP, which is no longer active in the Cup Series. What's your thoughts on that? Did NASCAR make the right call, or should they have let Kyle sit on the track until after it went green?
I think you got to let him have his chance to run minimum speed. He didn't get his chance to run minimum speed. There's just too many rules. It's a step in the right direction to get rid of the DVP because it's stupid, in my opinion. But come on, you got to at least give a guy a shot.
Right. I mean, I stand behind Kyle Busch on that. I'm like, it was stupid. Like,
I agree. I mean, he needed laps under green to be able to get back to speed. So I guess the best way to put it is it's still a work in progress on trying to get everything ironed out for him. So let's just watch as the season progresses and see if that's something that happens again, or if it's just one of those incidents that they learn from their lesson.
Mm-hmm. So now the question is, amongst all 3 drivers that we mentioned for driver of the race, this is something new that I want to do. Who gets driver of the entire race weekend between Jesse Love, Gio Ruggiero, and Jimmy Johnson? Or is there another driver we can throw in there for driver of the entire weekend?
I'd say Gio. Gio actually led some laps during the ARCA race. So the boy balled out all weekend long. It didn't matter what they put him in, a truck or a car. He was running up front.
Everett, would you agree?
For me, I'd go Jimmy Johnson. I mean, it all started Wednesday for him for having to qualify in on speed. Mm-hmm. And then he had a decent duel, and then moved to the front in the 500 to finish third. I mean, yeah, he's been around the block a time or two, don't get me wrong, but considering he hasn't really made a lot of laps in his cars, it's an impressive feat for him to come back out of the blue and just start performing like that again.
I would have to agree with you, Everett. He raced his way in on Wednesday, and then he really didn't have to do much. Now, I have to give Chase Briscoe props. He took himself out of the dual race on Thursday night. That was a smart move by Chase Briscoe. He did?
He ended up having something go through his radiator. The bottom grill was punched in.
Oh, damn. Now,
so they decided to park it to prevent further damage.
That was smart, because, I mean, he really wasn't racing for nothing. I mean, he was already on the pole. So, yeah. In my honest opinion, I feel like the people who's on the front row should not have to race the qualifying races. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah, I would. Why risk getting your stuff destroyed?
Right. But it's like, all in all, it was a fantastic weekend of racing. I enjoyed that truck race there was no tomorrow. Like, that was great racing. But my favorite part about the Daytona 500, that's the 3 wide, 10 rows deep. That was gorgeous to watch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Personally, for me, I think the best race out of the weekend was the truck. I think that was probably the cleanest of all of them.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to do something different here. We're going to vote race of the weekend and driver of the weekend. So Jimmy Johnson will be driver of the weekend, and the fresh from Florida 250 will be race of the weekend from 4 Wide Media, because that was woo. The trucks always put on a good show, though. We got Atlanta coming up too. That's gonna be some woo.
Yeah, just take Daytona and shrink it down.
Yeah, but so we got so the trucks don't race again until. Oh wait, I'm stupid. They
First
all
in
three series
Atlanta.
are racing. All three. So we have the Freight 208 Saturday at 1:30 p.m. on FS1, followed by the Bennett Transmissions and Logistics 250 at 5 p.m. on Saturday, and then on the CW. Don't forget, all races of the Xfinity Series are on the CW this season, which is good to have it on one channel. And then the Am Better Health 400 will be live on Fox at 2:30 p.m. March 2nd, the IndyCar Series returns, and they are on Fox for the first time ever.
That'll be interesting
I'm
to see their
excited about
coverage.
that.
Oh man, we got and it's something new that I went and it's subject and it's something I brought up along Kevin about it. Four Ride Media is going to celebrate 75 years of Formula One racing. This is the 75th anniversary. Each episode, starting next week, we're going to take a race from the 75-year history of one of the Grand Prix and break it down within a 5-minute segment, talk about it, the finishes, and we're also going to do rivalries and greatest drivers. On that list of greatest drivers is Lewis Hamilton, Michael Schumacher, Juan Pablo Montoya, um, Mario Andretti, uh, Aiton Arton Sinton or Senna, however you say his name, is in those lists of great drivers, and we will be breaking them down all throughout the year. And sometime this summer, we will hold a 75 anniversary special of Four Wide Media to celebrate 75 years of Formula One racing.
That'll be
Lots
fun.
of great stuff to it.
Right on.
Oh yeah. So let's take a look at the standings following the races this weekend. And that will end the show tonight. Let's see. So let's start with the truck series. So the overall standings, your top 10 standings is that's not what? Let's just do the Daytona 500. That's a pop up in front of me. So here's your top 5 in the point standings so far following the Daytona 500. Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Austin Cindric, Tyler Reddick, and Alex Bowman are your top 5 drivers. Um, Even though he's on a part-time schedule with 2 races, if Johnson was racing full-time, Legacy Motorsports takes up spots 7, 8, and 9 in the points.
Good start.
Great start. Let's see. Xfinity. I don't think those standings are out yet. Yes, they are. I'm stupid. Sheldon Creed, Jesse Love, Dean Thompson, Taylor Gray, and Sam Mayer round out your top 5 for Xfinity Series standings. Carson Quavo is going to be a driver to watch from Junior Motorsports.
He will be. I mean, he put together a decent race down there in Daytona. Starts last year for Junior Motorsports. He ran consistent and solid. So I mean, he'll be another one to watch.
Yeah, Junior
Get that
Motorsports.
first career win.
Yeah. Junior Motorsports as a whole is one of the best teams in the Xfinity Series alone.
Mm-hmm. One of the best teams to be able to build rookie drivers.
Correct. Because in the trucks it was Kyle Busch Motorsports before it became Spire. In ARCA, we're not going there. It's Venturini Racing. We're not going any further than that. Xfinity is Junior Motorsports, and then in the Cup, Hendrick, Joe Gibbs, and Penske.
If I had to put money on a team that builds young drivers, I would go with Team Penske because they took a struggling Joey Logano and look at where he's at now.
Yep. 3-time Cup
Ryan
champion.
Blaney was dabbling around with other teams. Got with Team Penske full time. He's a champion. He's racing.
Yep.
Keselowski was the same way. I mean, yeah, he was doing all right for Hendrick and Junior, but as soon as he joined Penske in the 2, Cup champion, race wins, Xfinity championship. I mean,
Mhm.
he was a complete package once he joined Penske. So
Yeah.
Penske, I think, is the best owner to build champions and build these younger teams.
Not to mention Penske. Not to mention Roger Penske owns IndyCar,
Hmm.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Nashville Super Speedway. So not to
Oh
mention he
yeah,
has. Not to mention he has won every major event dating back to 2023. The Indy 500, 2023, 2024. The Rolex 24, 2023, 2024, 2025. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 2024, 2025, Rolex 24. He's won the WEC championships. He won Le Mans. Team Penske is one of the top tier teams in all of motorsports.
he is. I
You get
mean,
no argument from me.
And then when it comes to Formula One, Ferrari. Ferrari and Red Bull are your top two teams.
we'll give it time. Roger Penske might get bored and go to Formula One.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they're trying to Michael Andretti's trying to enter, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I was about to say
But
they're putting. I think Cadillac's trying to put a deal together.
Cadillac put a deal together. They're supposed to enter on the grid in 2026. And there was a news report this morning that I read that Cadillac F1 is building their headquarters on the Hendrick campus,
damn.
which further fuels the speculation that Chevrolet is switching to Cadillac in the Cup Series.
I'd be okay with that, to be honest.
Well, right now the only car Chevrolet builds is the Corvette.
Yeah. You know, that would be something. But did you guys hear the NASCAR Crop and Truck Series news for 2026? Dodge has entered the picture to return to NASCAR in 2026 in the Truck Series and wants to be full-time back in NASCAR by 2028.
With them returning to the Truck
take
Series,
a
that's
lot
not
of
a bad
money.
idea.
You said what?
Going to the truck is not bad because with having the Ilmore engine, all you got to do is build bodies.
Mhm.
Yeah, the motor program's already handled. You can just show up and have at least a decent body and a decent R&D program, and you can have decent success.
Mhm. Yeah, because it says here, Ram could soon be making a long-anticipated return to NASCAR, with sources suggesting the brand has submitted a formal application to join the Truck Series for the 2026 season. If approved, it would mark Ram's first official involvement in the series since withdrawing after the 2016 season. That also can include speculations regarding Dodge's potential return to the NASCAR Cup Series by 2028. So,
If they go
a
back
lot
to the
of
Cup Series, though, who builds their engines? Who defects dives?
right.
I don't think they have the money to compete at the cup level. They don't have the teams. They tried that once before and it fell apart. I could see it happening in the trucks, but the Cup Series, that's a tall order, man. And you're going head to head against TRD money,
Oh yeah.
and I just don't see it in the cards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, about the only thing I could see is a team like Fire or Colleague possibly defecting over to Dodge, to give them a program to work with, just because it'd give them more money.
That is true.
And
But it's
instead of
like,
being third, fourth in the pecking order, they'd be right at the top.
yeah. But it'll be very interesting as things move forward. But gentlemen, this was an awesome show.
Right on.
I had fun.
Yeah, Everett,
Yeah, it
you're
was a
welcome to
good
come
time.
back. You're welcome to join us anytime, buddy.
Hey, just let me
Thanks,
know.
man.
You know how to get a hold of me.
Oh yeah. So again, well wishes to Kevin Marble, our co-founder, my good friend and the co-founder of 4Ride Media. Shout out to him. Hope the thing's good. Like I said, we got some awesome shows coming up. It's an awesome year coming up. I'm excited. This is fun. I missed this last year. I missed it all. Kevin had his health issues last year, so we had to go on hiatus, and we decided to rebrand. Chris knows the reason why for the rebrand. Something happened with an old show that I was on. Chris knows the whole story about it. This is a rebrand. This is a fresh start for me. This is beautiful. I love this. I'm glad I'm able to do this again. We got a lot in store for 2025. Until next time, this has been 4 Wide Media.